What up, F1? I'm Will, and I want to know, who is George Russell? George William Russell is a 6', 155-pound British Formula One racing driver. He races under the number 63, which we'll get into in a second, and he'll soon have well over 150 Formula One race starts. Born February 15, 1998 in Kingsland, Norfolk, he's the youngest of his sister Cara and brother Benji. He grew up around racetracks because his brother was actually the first one in the family to race, becoming a karting champion himself. Unfortunately, Benji started his racing career a little too late and wouldn't find a path to Formula One, but he would make sure he did everything he could to make sure his little brother got there. To this day, George still gives thanks to his older brother by racing under his number, 63. The support from his family runs deep. As the story goes, George's father spent £1.5 million in 2012 to fund George's racing career, selling his company Dunn's Pulse and Seed Merchants in the process. But George, being the good lad that he is, has since paid back every penny to his father. George finally got behind the wheel of a kart at 7 years old, and he started racking up wins at karting events and championships around the UK. A couple years later, he would win the FIA European Karting Championship, one of the world's biggest in karting. George had joined the Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team's family, starting in the GP3 series, aka Formula 3. Here, he would make a statement and take the GP3 championship his rookie season. In 2018, he would snag the reserve driver position for Mercedes and enter Formula 2, where he once again took the championship in his first season of the series. Only a year later, George would see his dreams finally come true, earning himself a drive for the Williams Formula One racing team. The car wasn't competitive, but he was on the grid. In 2022, he finally got a seat at one of the big Formula One teams, Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team. His teammate, 7-time world champion, Lewis Hamilton. George welcomed the challenge and the opportunity to race against and learn from the statistical best Formula One driver in history. Before Hamilton's exit to Ferrari, George held his own against the world champion. This wouldn't propel George to the upper echelon of drivers because of the known errors in the design philosophy behind the cars Mercedes built. Since joining Formula One, Russell has minted his social media presence with the luxe lifestyle you would normally see from any professional athlete. He's had memorable moments like his 2023 iconic pose that took the internet by storm. And some would say he's developed less of a rivalry and maybe more of an ongoing feud with 4-time world champion Max Verstappen. After the two nearly collided on a preparation lap, which are very important, during qualifying in Qatar of 2024, Verstappen claimed George went out of his way to make sure that he got a penalty, which resulted in Max losing a grid place and George taking pole position or the top spot for that race. George denied that and called Max a bully. Nonetheless, George has remained just outside of the real championship battles. But consistent driving and performing under pressure when the car is capable of winning could be what decides whether or not George Russell just has a good Formula One career or becomes part of Formula One history as a world champion. As the seasons continue, we'll watch him challenge himself and the other drivers on the grid in his pursuit of the Drivers' World Championship. But in the meantime, we'll still be able to ask, who is George Russell?